hello, Internet. Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotsuben and Friends where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I am your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two good friends of ours, Tiago.
Yo.
And Rose.
Hi.
Dessy and I are the longtime fans, and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers. We hope that through both of our perspectives, as we play through the series, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series that's near and dear to us. Today, we have all played the fourth case of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, The Forgotten Turnabout. This case is the penultimate case of Investigations 2, and Kay Faraday is deposited upon Edgeworth's doorstep with a small problem. She's lost all of her memories. Edgeworth, Gumshoe, and the amnesiac Kay head to the Grand Tower, a skyscraper that holds the PIC on its top floor. Upon showing up and trying to figure out what caused Kay to lose her memories, they are informed that a murder has happened in the PIC room, and Kay is the primary suspect. Edgeworth begins to investigate, and Justine Courtney and Sebastian DeBest show up, of course, and so does DeBest's father, the chairman of the PIC, Blaise DeBest. Edgeworth sacrifices his badge to continue to defend Kay, gets tossed in a holding cell, and then interrogated by the entire PIC board. Oh yeah, and also there's a black market auction selling off evidence from previous cases hidden above the PIC room. Oh, and Francisca's here too now. After proving the true murderer was Blaise and exposing huge amounts of corruption in the PIC, Sebastian runs off in tears. Edgeworth refuses to accept his prosecutor's badge back, and Kay is handed back her promise notebook and regains all of her memories. Hooray! Oh wait, who's this calling on the phone? Shelley DeKiller? Teasing the final case, I see. So yeah, that was the case 4 of Investigations 2. And I know I normally go around and ask everybody what they thought of the case and that kind of thing, but I'm going to start this time. I really had fun with this case. I really liked it quite a bit. I know our common refrain with Investigations 2 has been that it's a little on the long side. None of it, I don't think any of us have been saying that this is a bad game, right? I think we've all been having a decent amount of fun with it and liking it quite a bit, but it does feel a little bit long. And I think that's the case here too. But this one is the one that I felt it, the least, I think. Because I was really excited with a lot of some of the things that popped up in this. I really enjoyed when Blaise DeBest showed up, when Francisca showed up. I was really excited when Francisca started beating up Sebastian.
Oh my God, I've been waiting for this all game. She's just gonna kill this 17-year-old.
Yeah, it was a really triumphant moment for her to beat up a child.
He's 18. He went to fucking...
He's 17. Yeah. I checked.
Oh, you checked?
Yeah. His age is 17. So
I'll kill him anyway.
So yeah, I guess we'll start with Rose since we jumped in there. How did you feel about this case overall?
Francisca was in it, so 10 out of 10.
I
liked this. This is my favorite one so far, for sure.
Okay.
I do feel it. There was some moments where it went a little long. When what's his name, Papa DeBest was talking too much a little. But I didn't mind it a ton. This one also had the most obvious translator notes and goofs and references. I think we got Pokemon, we got Portal, we got some other stuff.
Yeah.
They accidentally used sneaked instead of snucked, I think, for the third time. So at this point, I'm now calling it out.
Wait, sneaked instead of snucked? Is snucked the word?
It's not snuck. Sorry.
Okay.
See, this is why I don't write anything.
Well, either is correct. I see sneaked a lot.
Is sneaked right?
Both of them are right, yes.
God, can you come down and tell us if
I've been living a lie my
right?
entire life. I always thought it was
English?
only snuck. I hate English.
Snuck sounds correct as a
nightmare.
native English speaker, but sneaked is correct. And snuck is also correct.
I hate this language. It's garbage. Anyways, not a huge
like people like if you're being like grammatically correct and you want to sound super, like if you're writing like a formal paper, you would use sneaked.
Wow.
Really?
Okay.
That sounds insane, but I guess
I know it bothers me when I see it. I'm like, no, that's not right. And I'm like, wait, actually, technically, it is.
English
so
majors would know better than me because
I'm not an English major.
I don't know. I know a lot of English majors, and I can't read, so huge problem for me. But no, I liked this case the best. For sure.
You liked it the best?
Yeah, maybe I even did.
Oh!
Air horns. Yeah, yet another case of like, hey Miles, here's another story about a father who's shitty and throws away his son when he's no longer useful to him. But also they like never go into how that affects Miles whatsoever.
Right, Miles is just like, couldn't be me, and it's like, no, Miles, actually that will
literally you, and it's like, are we gonna address this? I probably not, but it at the same time it keeps happening over and over.
No time for that. Back to investigating.
Francisca's great. She's here. I love her. Nobody got hit in the head with fire extinguisher. Courtney did her.
Yet somehow Kay lost her memories still.
Yeah. I was like, just hit her again. It'll be fine.
There was a fire extinguisher.
Second time someone lost all their memories.
Pearl, come in here and punch this girl.
She fell onto a fire extinguisher.
You're right. That's probably what happened.
Oh, so she hit the fire extinguisher.
Yeah, equal and opposite.
So instead of getting hit with a fire extinguisher, the fire extinguisher was hit.
Mm-hmm. It's just contact with the fire extinguisher. That'll do it.
Don't touch a fire extinguisher or you'll forget everything.
Instant memory
You walk into
loss.
the hospital in Ace Attorney world, and as Kay wakes up in the hospital bed, the doctor's like, well, don't worry, I know you've lost your memories, but we've got the perfect thing to help you. And he opens up a cabinet full of fire extinguishers.
I thought you were going to... I was like, you're doing all right, but the fire extinguisher didn't make it.
Oh. Hey, I'm trying to think of what else. Courtney did her extremely predictable heel turn.
Right. Yep.
And
It finally happened.
And then it's like, you can have your badge back, Miles. And Miles is like, no, I still need some time to think about this. And she's like, okay, well, I guess I'll go back to being horrifically antagonistic towards you for no reason now. And he's like, okay, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Kiss, kiss.
I just want to say
Kiss, kiss.
My prediction was correct.
Yes.
What was your
the fact
prediction?
that Courtney was shepherding Sebastian around essentially because of nepotism, right?
Yeah.
That he was the son of somebody high up in the organization. I didn't think he'd be the exact head of the PIC, but there we go. Now, granted, then Courtney did also say that like I was using that opportunity, right? I wanted to do this because I wanted to get close to Blaze and suss out what he was doing that was illegal,
Yeah.
Mhm.
But so I didn't have that part quite on the ball, but I was close.
You were pretty close. Also, we get an answer to my question from last case, which is who is the guy who's hot enough shit to lie to Manfred von Karma about whether they found the body or not? It's this guy.
Yeah,
he's the guy who was like, you're doing a little too well. I'm just gonna like fuck with you a little, just because. Obviously, it doesn't hurt. Well, it does severe damage to Manfred because clearly he murders somebody over it. But like his career's fine, Yeah.
He's like, okay.
He does great for himself.
Yeah.
Also, Francisca has a line where she's like, "What? Papa fabricated evidence?" And it's like, Francisca, look at me. Where have you been?
It's been years.
Putting your hands on either side of her cheeks, just like Francisca.
Francisca, please listen to me. You know this. You
Deep
know.
down.
She couldn't deal with it. She had to fucking look away.
I mean, yeah, I think you're probably right, Tiago. Is that it was kind of one of those things where, yeah, she just didn't want to admit it to herself, right?
Yeah. Even though like he's literally in prison for murder and fabricating evidence, but.
So, how about you, Tiago? How did you feel about this case overall? Then
I really enjoyed this case. Hold on, I gotta reposition my chair. Keep this in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the thing about this case for me is that I felt genuinely distraught whenever Kay was accused of murder, because I was like, that's my friend and she has amnesia. Please lay off of her.
She really should. She is not fit to stand trial.
No, I said that in the beginning of the Let's Play too. I was like, she's not fit to do anything right now. She shouldn't be standing.
Yeah.
She's like fucking barely there.
I do like the bit though when the nurse later says, "Yeah, she's all bandaged up just because we
just in case.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." She didn't actually need to be bandaged up like that. It's just a goof.
That was just a goof.
When hospitals use more stuff than needed, so they can charge you more.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be $200 for this Band-Aid.
I felt genuinely distraught for Kay. I think she rised up in my rankings of teenage assistants.
Mm-hmm.
Still top tier is holy shit, Maya Fey. I don't know why I forgot her name for a second. I guess it's not top tier. Never mind. Fuck her.
Wow.
Not high enough up to remember her name.
Not high enough to remember her name. All right, rankings, right? We got Maya Fey. We got
We're doing this now? Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing it right
Haven't
now.
we done this already?
Yeah, but I'm doing it again.
we have a new one.
Okay.
That wasn't ranked yet.
Maya Fey. I'm gonna say Kay Faraday next, and then Pearl, and then Emma Skye. Unfortunate for Emma Skye. I do think she's a wonderful teenage assistant, but she can't outrun Pearl, so, you know.
No one
Now,
can.
Emma was in this case, and she did let me use the luminol, so
Yeah.
I like her this
Finally.
time.
So,
also, this is a Trucy erasure, Tiago.
Oh, yeah.
She did do more than just summon a ghost who cryptically tells you some information.
Yeah, but the ghost is hot, so, like, it's fine. Trucy, right, is, I want to say, underneath Kay Faraday for me. Only because I know in my heart that Trucy only gets one fucking game.
Yeah.
So, we just have to eat that.
Shakes my fist.
Alright, so, like, going back to this case real quick, this case definitely felt like it was a final case. I legitimately couldn't think of, like, where this would go, and then Shelly the Killer comes in at the very end saying, "Oh, by the way, you're not done yet, moron," and you go, "Oh, okay, fair enough." I like this case a lot. Miles giving up his badge to continue to protect Kay is wonderful. Here's my fucking thing, right? Is that this building that the entire event takes place in is a building in which that, like, it was allotted to have 50 floors and then a rooftop garden. Apparently Kay was told to... Well, I'll get into that later, but the point being is that Kay fell from the rooftop garden into a secret floor, the 51st floor.
Right.
Are you fucking telling me that they had a construction crew make a secret floor and no one fucking
wasn't even
knew?
secret. You could see it. Like, if you...
But no one knew about it. Not even the fucking government. Not even the prosecutor. Like, are you telling me that we lived in a society where no one just looked at that building and went, "Hey, isn't there a 51st floor there?" As it goes, "No, that's 50. That's what it says on the pamphlet, moron." I also, just real quick prediction for the next case. When we entered this building, the Grand Tower, I don't remember the fucking name for it. We were interrupting, like, a Tokusatsu episode where Penny from the Tokusatsu studio, the Steel Samurai studio, was recording an episode with, like, this kid.
Right, this kid showed up again.
The mystery kid from the Weird Art Museum.
The mystery kid from the Weird Art Museum showed up again.
Yeah, that's going to be the next case for sure.
If that's not the next case, that kid died. That's my only explanation for it.
No, he's got a wacky enough design that he'll be back.
I know, but think about it this way. What if they were counting on an Ace of Investigations 3?
No response.
I don't know. Yeah, well, what should I say? I don't want to spoil you guys on anything.
Well,
no spoilers, but there's no 30.
We all know there isn't. So, like, there's a possibility that... I'm just saying there is a possibility that does not get resolved, just because that's how media and life works.
They have done a pretty decent job on not putting, like, future... I'm doing air quotes and nobody can see them because this is a podcast.
Yeah, like very intentional, like
Yeah, we wrap it
implications
up in this
for
game.
another game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to put it on the table that I think that it would not be crazy to me if we somehow didn't end up tying this thread up, just because that's how things work in the world, you know?
I think they're gonna get to it. They've never done this to us before.
Yeah.
You know, like anytime there's been a thread, it gets wrapped up.
Oh,
That
nope, there was
game.
one time.
There was one time?
Yeah. What's his name? Gavin. With the black.
You mean Kristoff with the
Kristoff with the black locks,
with
yeah.
black psyche locks?
Oh!
I don't know
Our
if
one
I'd
dangling
count
thread
that,
for the future.
actually, but
You wouldn't count that?
I don't know if I'd count that. But
Okay.
It's never been resolved and never been talked about.
yeah, I mean, I felt like that was a wrap. The black locks were the wrap.
The
You
black
know?
locks were the rat.
Just that
Like,
there's something.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I mean, I like it the way it is. I would prefer it actually not
Yeah.
to be resolved because I like the idea that
Yeah.
Kristoff has done some shit that you are
Yeah.
never going to pry out of him. That's what I like.
Yeah, that's what I think is very cool. And we haven't seen them again, the black Cyclops.
Right.
So like
Granted, we've been in investigations
Yeah.
land for a while now.
Miles
but-
doesn't have the magic rock that does weird stuff that he doesn't understand.
yeah.
He doesn't have the
So-
weird rock charged by
That's
like
honestly
child.
still one of my favorite sequences in the entire game series is when he gets the locks. He calls them psycho locks and he doesn't know what Phoenix is talking about. He thinks it's bullshit the whole time he's doing it.
Yeah. Yep.
So good.
So, Dessy, I wanted to get to you yet.
Hmm.
How did you feel about this case?
I think this was a nice, not super. I mean, there were a couple times where you're like, "Oh, this feels like it's going on," but then most of I was entertained enough that it felt like we weren't stuck on one thing for too long for it to be annoying. It
Right.
jumped around quickly, like so much so that sometimes I was like, "Wait, I want to know more about that thing," but they've already moved on.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, I think overall this was one of the cases I was like actually kind of excited to jump back into. Despite, in terms of like doing the Let's Play on a Friday night.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I think part of it is that I think Blaze is a good villain,
Yeah.
right? Like I think he's entertaining. He's a shitty old asshole in power.
He ticks all the
right?
boxes for me, I'll tell you what.
Blaze is older than the old lady.
Can we talk about
Oh yeah,
how
we got to get
she's-
into this.
We lost our minds. We literally are like, are you kidding me?
I'm glad that you guys also lost your minds because I was checking characters' ages because I do that when I remember to. And holy fuck, Grandma's 60. Her granddaughter is 22.
I was looking at it cynically, like women aren't allowed to be old. If they're older than like 30, they look like grandmothers.
She looks old as fuck.
Yeah, she looks like she's like 90.
Well,
She's
like Jill
60?
Crane was like 30.
She's only
Yeah.
60.
She looks
Blaze
like...
is older than her.
Blaze
Yeah.
is 68.
Wait.
I mean, his son is 17.
That dude came
Yeah.
at 51?
Bro,
That's insane.
Yeah.
Alright, new fucking theory. That kid is somehow one of the children from the previous case. I refuse to believe that Blazy was fucking coming at 51. Oh my
I keep saying this.
Why is that
it would've
so
been-
weird? They look so similar.
It
Like,
would've
they
been
have the same
dust.
hair, like, color and everything.
They don't have the same hair color.
Okay. That's true. He is wearing a wig. But,
That is
who knows what his natural hair color is?
it's red.
It's
Represents
a
his fiery
possibility, but also, I don't think so.
I also don't think so, but I also think that I need to fucking like, did he freeze his sperm and then unfreeze it later? Like, the timeline doesn't match up.
I don't want to think about
So,
old
yeah.
man cum. Can we talk about something else?
So
I think we should spend another
Bonnie
20 minutes
Young.
talking about
Boo,
this.
boo.
Bonnie Young is the old elderly woman who is the coroner, right? That's why she shows up here.
Elderly.
And she's 60, but she's drawn to look like she's 90.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
she can
anime,
hardly talk.
like old lady. Yeah, she's got a little tiny whispery voice, and so she has like a combo sprite with Karen Jensen, the nurse.
They
then,
do like a
who,
Two Stooges routine too, which was really weird.
yeah, it's what's the name of the Japanese comedy duo name? Comedy duo Japanese Manzai. Yes, Manzai. It's basically where you have two guys up on stage, right? And one of them's the straight man and one of them's the funny guy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The classic comedy
and so-
duo.
Yeah, and so one guy is like doing all the goofy stuff, and the other guy smacks him over the back of the head and says, "Shut up! Stop it with that stupid shit!" You know, like that kind of thing. So if you've watched any anime or seen any like live action Japanese comedy, you will often see this type of duo show up because it's a common trope, and so that's what they're doing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Bonnie and Karen. Is Bonnie is the straight man and Karen is doing the wacky stuff, and that's why she gets bonked on the head with Bonnie's staff, you know. So they do that bit, and they show up twice. Once at the start, with the initial investigation and autopsy report and all that good stuff, and then of course they come back later when it's revealed that oopsie, autopsy report was tampered with.
Tampered. They literally just like switched two things.
Yeah, Karen swapped the getting bonked over the head and the stabbing with the candelabra for the body.
Can you believe we updated the autopsy report ourselves?
Wow.
I mean,
also, they work for
pretty
the Die
important-
Young Clinic, which is a fun localization as well.
Mhm.
We have now
Um,
two hospitals you can go to in this town: the Hottie Clinic or the Die Young Hospital.
I would
I'm going
rather
to
go
yeah.
to Die Young Hospital.
I'd rather go to Die Young Hospital. They also
Yeah,
have like a
the-
vacation package.
The original Japanese name for it is called the Itami Hospital, which Itami is Japanese for pain.
Oh,
So
ouchie.
that's how they chose to like localize that
yeah,
for the fan translators. So I thought that was a decent.
that was
decent
clever.
pull.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Speaking
go
of
ahead.
Nope.
people who are creepy, Uncle Ray, a little sketchy this case. Gotta
I know,
say,
he
I'm
did
not
the-
a fan.
He's just so borderline. Like, it's just so close to being a real freak. But then he's actually decent and like reins himself in.
He was
He-
getting a
but
little
yeah.
rough this case with the room full of teenage girls. I was a little.
Yeah, I'm
I was
He's
shaking
like,
my
oh, there's so
finger.
many pretty ladies in here, and Edward's like, you need to shut your goddamn mouth right
Yeah.
now, Ray.
What did I say the one time? I was like, oh, it's unfortunate that a homosexual's in a room full of bitches.
He complains about literally every woman he meets right now. Like he meets Karen, and he's like, "Ugh, this is a troublesome woman," and it's like you think that about every woman, every single one.
Can you blame him? He eats paper.
Oh no,
Well, hang on, I need to.
is
How do
going
these
on?
things connect in your brain? Eating paper
Miles
and
isn't
thinking.
eating paper.
No, I think Dester's it was thinking
No,
that
I was
you're
thinking
talking
I
about
was still
Ray.
on the
Yeah.
On Ray,
Oh.
Ray, yeah.
Yeah, and I can't blame him for creeping on teenage girls. He's in his 30s.
So here's
Yes,
we,
absolutely.
we blame him.
we
Yeah.
blame him. Listen, it sucked. That's the end of that.
Yeah, no, that's the end. What else
Yep.
is there to say?
Hey, this is a thing that I keep bringing up, but I'm
Yeah.
not letting it go.
Anime.
Yeah. No, I agree.
We need to be better about, having adult characters fucking be teenage girl cute, haha, and it's like, hey man,
They can be cute,
shut
but
up.
stop there.
yeah,
Stop. Put the brakes on it.
Justine's right over there.
Actually, I checked her age too, and she's 26.
I know.
That's
We
fine.
went through all the ages after we noticed
Yeah.
Bonnie's age. We went through all the ages, and we were just like, "Oh my
26?
god!" I mean, I know it's Ace Attorney. We've always had like young prodigies be like the center, like the main focus of this.
It's okay for girls
Series,
to be a
but-
little older. It's okay.
Well, I mean, it not even just
And
the
by
girls,
older, I
but,
mean like
it
they could be
happens
in
with,
their
like-
20s and 30s and 40s and not look like
Mhm.
fucking coroner.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're
So,
right, and
yeah,
you should
but-
say it.
When I brought up Justine, I meant that Ray would be killed by Justine. That's what I meant by that.
Oh,
right.
yeah,
If
that's
he
good.
tried to hit on her, he would just be hammered to death.
No,
Exactly.
I'm just complaining
Right.
because I found out she's younger than me, and that's weird.
Right.
But like
It's
a
okay.
significant margin.
It's not, I mean, I would say it's not that significant, but whatever. I know your age, and I'm not gonna dox you here because that's weird.
Looks like the youngest
I
judge
think
to
we've
ever
mentioned-
be sworn in America was 25.
There you go.
Okay, so it's
Okay.
possible.
It's possible.
25 is the youngest you can be. Most of them usually are 35 or older.
Y'all want to become judges
Right.
real quick?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Let's do it.
All
That's
right.
our next podcast after this one is
The gang becomes judges.
Yeah, the gang becomes judges. Yeah. The worst Always Sunny episode.
The gang takes the bar.
The gang takes the bar.
Yeah.
I just so
yeah, go ahead, Tiago.
I was gonna say, like, I kind of just want to do, like, an overview of, like, the path we take on this case, because we've been jumping around a lot, right?
We have, yes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So,
Feel free.
like, we start off with, fucking, we go to the Grand Tower, we investigate the rooftop, we then investigate the PIC room, because we think that there's a body there, and there is, but the body was called K, because they had K's notebook.
Right.
Which, like, strange. Kay gets accused of fucking murder. She runs away. We find her because she's an amnesiac and doesn't know that many locations. We investigate the rooftop again. We then find a hatch that goes into the secret storage room where the black auction is occurring, where people would come in, buy shit from previous murder cases.
Honestly, that's the
Right.
most unrealistic thing. They're like, oh yeah, all these people are so crazy for law.
Well, here's the thing, like, the things that they have gotten from previous murder cases are, like, super expensive and rare things.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just like, oh, this is a gun, a murder weapon gun
No, they
that
get,
they're
like-
buying. They're buying, like, a multi-million-dollar statue.
Some of them
Yeah.
were like the raincoat though, like
Yeah, no, that was...
Or,
that
like,
did
Worn
not
by
be-
Shelley the Killer.
broken
Warn-
stuffed animals.
To be fair, though, I could totally see, like, murder fanatics going,
Oh.
this is the fucking jacket
Oh
that
my god, they're
Jeffrey
Well,
Dahmer wore.
they're-
Yeah,
true-
and the stuffed animal was it was property of the president of Zhengfa.
all right.
Exactly.
Now that I know that they're true crime fangirls, that makes a lot more sense. Please carry on.
It rationalizes everything. Someone who we didn't mention is that Lottie Hart was here for 2 days.
Lotta.
Yeah, Lotta Hart was hiding behind this fucking giant statue for 2 days and passed out.
Honestly, I haven't done like Rose's game mechanic corner in a while because
Okay.
I have been sad to say this both investigations I've ended up relying a bit more on the guides than I usually like to
Okay.
because sometimes the connections just don't make sense to me.
All is forgiven.
Like last case, there was the thing with the blue tablecloth
Yeah.
versus the white tablecloth. Could not figure that shit out.
It's like the blue dress versus the white dress.
It's more like, is this shading? Is this like artistic
Yeah.
shading, or am I supposed to like think that this is weird?
God forbid you're colorblind.
Yeah, like so that sort of thing. Logic chess against Lotta Hart is the most difficult logic chess that we have done. More difficult for me than Papa DeVest. And then I found out what happens if you lose logic chess. You lose the tiniest centimeter of your health.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, fuck this.
you could brute force it.
Oh, yeah, I had to because, oh my goodness, Lotta.
I feel really bad now because my immediate thought was like, oh really? I thought it was quite simple.
Oh no, terrible time.
Lotta Hart
She has the fastest
Some
timer.
people's brains work differently.
She has the fastest timer.
Yeah, she
That's
does have a
literally
very
it.
quick ass timer.
Her
Yeah,
timer is faster than Blase de Best. It's faster than anyone.
She's
So
from the
far.
south. She has no patience. You gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Unless you're like, I don't know, standing in line or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was very. It was almost exclusively because of the timer, but
Yeah.
oh
Uh,
damn.
a lot of hearts there. She's been there for like 2 days. You have to like interrogate her as you always do. I love how like Miles sees her, he goes, "Oh, this a woman." And it's like, all right, you say that about literally anyone of the opposite sex, but continue.
Yeah.
Pop off, okay.
Her theme brought me right back to the first game, and I'm just like, man,
She
right.
she is the person who gave testimony that almost got him convicted for murder.
It's true.
False testimony that almost got him convicted
True.
for murder. So like,
yes, Miles Edgeworth is like the epitome of a character who is so sexist that he turns into a homosexual.
right? You're
Like-
gay because you like.
Are you
men.
sexist?
I'm gay because I hate
my best
women.
friend is a woman.
My best
For topping
friend
the question.
like looks at Kay fair. So like you have to interrogate a lot of her, and then you find out a lot of testimony from her because like it turns out she doesn't even lie about her testimony. All of it's accurate. It's just that she didn't want to give it up because she wanted to scoop. And at that point, I was like, "We're in a hidden room right now, full of evidence of like from murder cases.
Someone's dead.
I will fucking kill you if you don't tell me your goddamn information, Lana."
Please cooperate, Lana.
Of course, you find out that the storage room is right above the PIC room, and then you have to come in the next day to get it. Well, you get arrested, and then you get to have a standoff with Blaze in your jail cell. Like he's on the other side of the
that
bars.
was fun.
Cool.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Part of me
I
is just
thought.
like, okay, I understand you're having like mind chess, but all he has to do is literally walk away.
Yeah, but Blaze is so fucking full of himself that he never walks
Yeah,
away.
no, he's very much like, I'm having a good time.
I'm always like thinking
I'm-
like, literally, you could just shut up. Like, what's the problem?
No, Des, you don't get it. He's so old. His brain is addled.
Oh no,
and-
I fully get it. It's also a video.
No,
game.
that's
It has a
fair.
story.
He's
Yeah.
there to laugh. Like, he makes it pretty clear. Like, he's like, yeah, you can't do anything. I'm just chilling because I think it's funny.
I'm just bragging. Yeah,
Yeah.
at this point.
Blaze
Because
is
I
like
can.
his quirks include having a lighter he likes to light off. He cries
He's, like,
at anything that's
pyromaniac.
sentimental to him, but like then he immediately laughs about it. This is clearly like the most Joker-fied character we've had so far. Something about him is just like, why the fuck did you get in charge of this? Like, dude, like who elected you?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what like his bit is as a character, you know, like because he's got this like motorcycle jacket on, right? And he's got all the badges, you know, all the prosecutor's badges all across him. And he's got the goggles then too. But yeah, then he's like kind of weepy, you know. Also,
They needed a way to put the fire out.
in the like character description in Edgeworth's, you know, court record, he literally has one word to describe him. After he's like describes his job, he's like, "Oh yeah, he's the head of the PIC, weepy." Period.
Weepy. Yeah.
That's it.
Like he cries at any.
Miles.
His heart is so movable, or at least like he looks like it is, and then he immediately like laughs and shits on anyone in his way, and it's like, Blaze, why the fuck is like an Arkham villain here? Like, why did this Batman fucking character show up out of nowhere?
Batman just pops up and punches him in the face and runs away.
Dude, I can't wait for Miles Edgeworth to prosecute Bruce Wayne. Anyway, let me circle back to the fucking thing. So yeah, you have your hearing at the PIC, and this is where when you're in your jail cell, Justine comes in and is like, what inspires you to find the truth? And Miles goes, I'm a good person. And Justine goes, interesting, and then leaves. And then fucking she shows up, and then she does her heel turn. Was the heel turn premeditated, or was that heel turn because of Miles being like, I find the truth because I care?
I think she meant to do it all along. Because she was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, I
I've
think
been,
she was-
Jill and I have been, like, following you, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said they've been kind of tracking this stuff, and she does say that that's part of the reason she's been with Sebastian, right?
Yeah.
You know, is to get close to Blaze.
My initial thought was that she did it because it's just there's so much obvious corruption that she had to, but then it was like, oh, she was actually doing stuff. Okay, never mind.
It's just that, like,
It doesn't explain some of her actions earlier in the game where she was incredibly
No.
contrary for no purpose.
it, like,
She's like all the other villains. She just wants to win.
at a certain point, like, you could make the point of like, oh yeah, she was so deep undercover that she had to be contrary against you, because any situation in which Sebastian lost, aka she lost footing in Blaze's eye, was a loss. So of course,
Right.
whatever Sebastian said, she had to support.
I
And
bet
of course,
we could.
since he was wrong,
She could probably spin it to be like, "Oh, Sebastian figured it out." Like, nobody.
Sebastian did spin it that way.
Yeah,
He straight up was like, I did this, this, and this, and everyone was just like, no.
sure you did, buddy. So like, he's stupid enough that she could probably have gotten by no matter what.
Yeah, but she was too deep, She was fucking. She couldn't see the fucking forest for the trees.
It's the classic dichotomy, right? Can you change the system from inside or from outside? And clearly, at this juncture with this case, we were setting it up as Justine was trying to change it from the inside. Miles was trying to change it from the outside. Now giving up his badge.
She needed my help to do it.
Yeah.
I see.
So like, Blaze has his like Joker moment where he like shits on everyone, including his own son. He's like, "Son, you're worthless. Every award you've ever won,
$1
I paid off."
for every time he calls his son an idiot.
He would have been fucking rich. I actually felt bad for Sebastian. He got tore into.
Even
Like-
Franziska feels sorry for him. Franziska's
Like-
standing there and she's like, yeah, that's rough. I hate it when my dad talks to me like that. Like,
Like,
jeez, Franziska.
it's just like, it's so crazy that like Sebastian got so torn into that like he ran away. Like, that was sad. I understand that he's stupid, but like
He's a
trying
child.
he's trying his best. He's
Mhm.
trying the best. All right, let's lay
Yeah.
off of it.
Yeah, even
remember how-
Courtney is like,
Unfortunately,
well, listen.
his the best wasn't good enough.
Courtney's like, listen, he's stupid and he sucks, but he is trying.
I like how last case I was like, I think we should need to put the best down, and now this case I'm like, poor the best. What a little guy.
I'm glad I got to be
I mean,
right. And
clearly-
that he's great.
We're setting this up for some kind of redemption or some kind of resolution with him for the final case, right?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
he's
Yeah,
being
or he's
sent to his
done.
lower point, right?
I don't know. I feel like
And
his
he's-
story was kind of done.
Well, no, he doesn't have resolution. He needs to.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, his
he's
resolution
at his
is that he's
lowest
an
point
idiot
right
and his
now.
dad's an asshole.
No, his resolution should be that he should understand that he sucks and he should try to get better.
right.
Yeah,
I
by
think-
going back to school, like, and doing things legitimately.
We need to.
Well, yes, I think that could definitely be it. That he's like, well, I want to go back and do things the right way, or I want to learn and improve. Or I think the other way they could take his story is also just that he's like, I am not. It's not that I'm stupid, right? It's not that he's stupid. It's just that he's not good at law. He's not good at being a prosecutor. But maybe he finds out he's good at something else.
like Tokusatsu.
In that case or so, in the next case, yeah, but hopefully it's Toku related. But yeah, like he finds out something.
He joins
that he's
up with
good at,
what's his name?
and
the
and then finds something he's like actually
oh
good
my
at
God.
and goes from there. Did you remember what you wanted to say?
Can't remember his name.
Steel Samurai.
No, Dessy's
Larry.
husband.
Oh, cinnamon roll.
Yeah. Yes, cinnamon roll. Yep.
Ron.
Mask to mask.
Ron.
Masked mask. Yeah, and goes hanging out with masked mask. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it-
like a tokusatsu.
It's not Devon. I keep thinking. I don't know why I'm thinking
It's
Devon.
Ron, right?
It's
Oh, it's
Ron Delight.
Ron Delight.
close.
That's why I got Devon. Holy shit.
Yeah, to best and delight. Mask to mask to mask to mask.
You know what? That checks out. Do it.
That actually fucking checks out. So like, of course we find out that like, yeah, Blaze killed Kay and set this whole. Well, no, Blaze. Holy shit, Blaze did not kill.
I was
Kay.
like, wait, did
Blaze
I miss
killed-
something?
Blaze killed Jill and literally had Kay fall through a hatch and knock her head, and fucking have it
Blame
be
it
like
on her.
and put it all on her. He had an assistant, which was the nurse, because she was like, he threatened my granny, and if I didn't do what he said, my granny would be in prison. My granny was like, fuck you, I'll do life in prison, I don't give a shit. Granny would handle
It's been
prison.
18 years since she modified that, though.
Yeah, but she would just do time.
So if the statute of limitations
For murder.
as established in the last case, is 15 years,
So
Doc-
she can't be.
then-
She can't be prosecuted for shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck it, she'd be prosecuted. Anyway,
So if Karen had thought about that for a second, she wouldn't have been able to be blackmailed.
You think Karen thinks?
Karen does not think.
Karen thinks to herself, I'm gonna stab somebody with a needle today to make my granny happy. Like, that's her thought process is, I will now practice medicine because that makes granny happy. And it's like, her practicing medicine is wrapping Kay up like a mummy and like a cartoon. So of course we find out that, like, yeah, Blaze the Best did the murder. His entire beard and hair is a wig, and that he has it on normally. Here's my thing, right? If you're gonna have disguise, wouldn't you wear the disguise when you're, you know, like, as disguised as a conductor, not when you're, like, out there in the world? You know what I mean?
Right.
The wig should have been used for the conductor role, not for the real life role, you know, IRL.
Right.
Yeah, but he had to disguise himself because of the burn.
Also,
Yes.
the auctioneer being called the conductor, it kind of threw me for a loop.
That might have been a localization thing.
Yeah, I'll accept it. Like, it checks out, but it was kind of like, is this the word
The
we're going
conductor
for?
of the
Auction.
auction. Yeah, he's conducting the auction,
Still strange.
not the conductor of a train.
Also, like,
I
Francisca
was
showed up the
thinking
day before
orchestra.
because she's an
Brains work in
international
mysterious ways.
she's an international prosecutor, and I didn't quite grok that last game. What the fuck does that mean? She's an international prosecutor.
She's been working with Interpol this whole time. Remember?
Why do they need?
Because she's been tracking down this whole
Smuggling
ring.
thing.
I'm just saying that I don't
now-
think prosecutors should have this much power.
No, I think this is basically a made up role. I'm not aware of this being a thing, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm totally off base on this.
Unless
Each country
But-
should have their own prosecutor because they need to be versed in the laws of their own country.
I thought
Yeah.
you
Right.
I thought you were about to say they need to be versus each other like a Street Fighter tournament.
and
They need to
there's
go
no,
beat up a
like-
car first.
Where's
and
my
then...
Ace Attorney fighting game, Capcom?
God, I'd play that.
As far as
Um,
international laws go, they're really not regulated to this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
We live in
that's,
a-
that's more for like
it's
war
just-
crimes and such.
right. I mean, I think it's just an excuse to have Francisca pop up wherever you want her to and have her tracking down this smuggling ring across the entire globe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it makes sense
you
if
know,
she's working with them because she's like, oh, you know, I know the laws of like 2 or 3 different countries, say, because she's
right.
German and she also is cleared to practice law in Japanifornia.
Japan is
so-
funny, yeah.
She could
Yeah.
be like it makes sense that she'd be
You
like
could be the lawyer in
consulting.
different places, but you have to pass the bar exams in all of those countries to do it.
He
Yeah.
did.
That makes sense.
And she
Yeah.
definitely did because she's a super genius. So
Right.
it makes
It-
sense
it-
that she's there. It's just kind of
Yeah.
it's all right. It's okay.
I
It's
feel
just
like-
for story.
I feel
Yeah.
like Francisca should have shown up for the final case of the game, right?
I think she'll be there for the final case too because I think we're doing smuggling ring again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'll
I mean,
all come back together. It's
Yeah, I think this has got to be the resolution of all that, right?
Yeah,
It's gotta be in this final
everything.
case.
Everything that's happened so far will all come back together in ways I think that we weren't expecting.
So
Because so far it doesn't really feel like everything ties together, but somehow they'll make it do it because it's an Ace Attorney game.
yeah. And so, like, we've spent this entire case wondering why Kay was at this building, yada yada, and then we find out that, like, Kay was called to Gourd Lake by somebody in a red coat. The person in the red coat drugged Kay. Kay woke up on top of the Grand Tower, saw a body collapse, panicked, and fell down a hole and got amnesia.
Correct.
What the? That's so
It's
fucking.
really elaborate.
That's so fucking
So-
unlucky.
Oh, what if Callisto U is back? What if it's her?
No, it's definitely Shelly the killer.
I don't know because Shelly.
Shelly loves red raincoats.
Isn't Callisto in jail?
Yeah, but they could
Yeah,
be
supposed to
like,
be
oh, she
anyway.
escaped or whatever. I don't
And it's
know.
only been like a week since that happened.
Yeah, it's been like 4 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen, Ace Attorney doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It just like Kay got set up for all this shit only because, like, Shelley the Killer wanted to get Miles involved with another court case. Which brings up another thing, which is, why is this the most lawful assassin I've ever seen in my life?
Did Shelley even set her up? Or is he mad because somebody else, like, maybe, I could see him being like, oh, somebody else is pretending to be me, which violates my code of honor. Somebody stiffed me on my bill, which violates my code of honor, so I'm gonna
or somebody did something that is somebody did something that was against his code, so now he has to find an elaborate way to turn it around, and they have to figure out how to kill whoever did it.
I definitely think that Shelley the Killer was the one who called Kay over to Gourd Lake and then drop her off on the Grand Tower, because it follows his MO of getting protagonists forcibly involved in cases that they don't want to be involved in. We got Phoenix.
You think it was a way to get Edgeworth involved, essentially.
Exactly. Like,
he's like, well, I can't kill you, so I'll just get you arrested and put in jail for the actual crime you tried to pay me to do.
Like, I have to assume that when he was told to kill the president of Zhengfa, somehow he was betrayed. But he was betrayed in a way that he cannot resolve, but Miles can in the court.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. He still has not carried out his assassination that he was supposed to in that case 1, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, he
was supposed to kill the president. He has not killed the president yet. So, I'm trying to think of how this like all relates to the smuggling ring and stuff.
And those children.
But
I keep thinking about the 2 children.
Yeah, the 2 missing kids. Like, I feel like all this has to somehow come together here at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I suspect the way the game has treated Shelley the Killer so far is that he's the cool, noble killer who's, got that like ironclad heart, right? Who always, he might be a killer, but he's a good kind of killer, right? Is how he's portrayed. So I
don't know about that.
I suspect he will come out of this like still looking like the noble assassin, and he is not,
I do like the noble assassin. I'm
like he's not
he does.
the only thing is that him drugging Kay, I feel like dings that appearance, right?
Yeah.
If he was the one who did this, that's the only thing that makes that seem a little more unlikely to me.
But he's never taken a female assistant before. No, he's never kidnapped somebody and starved her for 8 hours.
For 8 hours.
Fine.
Oh my God.
You're right.
So, like, that's never happened before. Motherfucker went without food for 8 hours and almost died.
She was
It's true.
fine.
Poor Maya. Give her a burger. Give that girl a burger.
So, yeah, I totally think that Shelley the Killer would absolutely...
Shelley the Killer needs to DoorDash some burgers from Maya.
I don't, like, part of me is like, I understand, like, the character they're trying to portray him as, but he still kills for money, regardless of who it is. It's just that if you violate his contract, that's when it becomes a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a bad guy.
That's sort of the classic.
I wouldn't say like, oh, he's a good killer. No, he's still bad.
No,
like he's still bad.
I mean, I'm saying the noble assassin trope more. Which doesn't
I'm just saying
make
within
you
the
good.
context of the story.
That's where I'm kind of like on the fence about though. He's not like he's an assassin. Period. I wouldn't say noble assassin. He still just kills people for money, like regardless of who it is.
Yeah,
you just can't violate his contract.
I mean, to me, that's what that means. Maybe I am...
No, noble assassin to me is like you're killing people, you're killing bad people.
Well, that's just vigilante justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Batman.
Batman doesn't kill.
Batman should kill.
Batman just puts you in the hospital for the rest of your life.
Batman just makes it so that you are in crippling debt and can never live a successful life afterwards. You'll be wishing
like a true CEO.
Like a true CEO. All right, so like let's
So we get back to the like interrogation with Edgeworth, right? He's brought before the PIC.
Oh my God, we're only here. Jesus Christ! I thought we were farther along in this.
You got the whole council looking at him, and we do a bunch of back and forth, and of course Blaze is like, well, I'll let the worm wriggle while he's on the hook, and there's nothing he can do now. So go ahead, do whatever cross-examinations you want, Edgeworth. So you get some back and forth with Edgeworth and Courtney. This is where she does her heel turn, right? And then after going back and forth with her, and also Francisca shows up, you finally get to go up against Blaze. And this is when you finally break him down, right? And get him to confess. And we get his cool breakdown animation in which he lights his entire wig and beard, on fire.
He doesn't cry fast enough to put it out.
Yep. So yes, this is when Sebastian runs away in tears. And
it just cuts and he goes, wah, and runs.
Yeah. And lastly, then also, Courtney, she is like, well, this one time I can let you have a piece of evidence, Edgeworth, even though you shouldn't have this. And so she hands back the promise notebook for Kay back to Edgeworth. And then he gives it to Kay.
Clown certificate, clown certificate, clown certificate.
Yeah, and the clown certificate image appears.
It's such a funny graphic. It's so I'm sorry. Even I know we're poisoned by already seeing this image of Edgeworth handing her this book.
His head got
with
too
100
small,
edits,
just like his father.
Yeah, it's just his deadpan face. It's just, if you haven't seen it and you haven't played this case, just Google this. Trust me.
Yeah.
But it's just very funny.
Miles Edgeworth clown certificate. Please do it now. It's very funny.
It's just a very dorky image of him just handing her this book, but he's handing it directly to the camera, right? Is the way it's framed.
And then it cuts.
And it's just,
it cuts back to like Kay receiving the book from her father, and it's like, oh yeah, Miles is a father figure for her. Kind of weird, but okay.
Yeah.
But clown certificate.
Yeah. And so she opens up this book, and it's like whoosh, 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 all the memories come back to her.
Yeah, she has a very
whoa.
traumatic sprite animation.
Yeah, her screaming sprite animation.
Her eyes are jittering, and she's shaking her head, and it looks like she's having a seizure.
I'm not sure this is how memory recovery works. To be
I like it when
I'm not a medical doctor, but
I like it when my sprite's pupils jiggle really fast to just show that I'm experiencing a mental breakdown.
Right.
Oh yeah, but
I do it every day.
Love it.
Yeah.
You good, Tiago? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. What's up?
You good? You
I'm
sure?
I'm Gucci.
You sure?
So with her memories back, this is when Kay clarifies, the getting injected, caught and knocked out and dropped off on top of the building.
I'm Kay Faraday. And gets her clothes back.
Yeah, she puts her clothes back, so she's really Kay again. And then we get the ringing of the, walkie-talkie or whatever it is. The satellite phone, something. It kind of looks like something like that.
I believe it's the walkie-talkie that Phoenix carried during that case in Game 2.
Right. The game just calls it a transceiver, but it's clearly picking up a signal from a long ways away.
Transceiver makes me think of the thing from Black and White where people would randomly call you and they would have a little picture of themselves, and I can hear the ring sound in my head.
Like
in
Metal
Metal
Gear?
Yeah, like Metal Gear.
Like in Metal Gear.
Like Metal Gear.
Like Metal Gear.
So, yeah, and then Shelly the Killer is like, this whole thing's been kind of weird, hasn't it, Miles? I don't know if you really uncovered the truth for everything yet. So I really want you to figure things out,
Ooh, okay, I have an idea.
Buddy.
Thing that's gonna happen. There's gonna be a showdown between Shelly the Killer and the dog guy, Dogen.
Oh, Dogen.
We're gonna
Forgot
get
about
The
it.
other
that
assassin.
guy.
You said
The other assassin.
That's how you know
You've got
he's
two
a
assassins
good
in this
character.
game.
I forgot about him.
It's true. We do have two assassins in this game. It would be fun to have an assassin off.
I don't think.
I'll take it.
Don't think Dogen's gonna come out. I think he's still in that box.
I think
He's stuck in his
I
cool
bet
cell.
he's gonna come back. That's my money's on that.
Yeah, you want to bet real life money?
$1.
$1? Yeah, I'll match you.
All right, we're betting money again on predictions. For
This is
this
smart
game.
though, because it's just the next case as opposed to me and Tiago battling
Oh,
out throughout
4
the
games
course of
from
an
now.
entire game.
Yeah, that was a slow burn. That was a slow burn for
That was
$1.
good. That was a good time. But
Man, I could really use me a slow burn fic right now.
We should. Are you telling me that we should have bet earlier and then fucking?
No, I just want to read a slow burn fic.
Oh well, there's a good
Good
website
news.
for that.
I'm
Yeah.
on that website. I have an account.
Damn, for real, for real.
For real, for real.
Crazy.
I heard.
So that when I
there's a
leave
certain,
kudos, people know who it's from. It doesn't say anonymous.
I heard that there's a certain pairing that's popular on that website that this podcast happens to bump
dabs
into
my
every once in a
forehead.
while.
Oh, reader writer.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I think that about summarizes this case, right?
Narumatsu?
Yeah, I need another drink.
Yeah.
I'm trying my
Or me
very
too.
best not to say something
Or me
wildly
too.
inappropriate.
Yeah. I'm glad you held yourself back.
Wow.
I'll tell you guys after the recording.
So.
Listeners, I'm sorry.
Leave it in the
Secret
recording.
content.
We'll leave it as a bonus track.
I don't know if we will. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap
so
it up.
yeah.
The dog says it's time for me to stop recording.
Uh-oh.
Right. So we next time we will be going into the final case of Ace Attorney Investigations 2. You know, we're really getting there, aren't we?
If it's not
we-
Steel Samurai themed, I'm gonna be pissed.
I think you're going to be disappointed.
Well, we'll find out. We are going to split this one up into 2 parts again. I've heard
Oh, we
it's
are?
a big final case.
Yeah, we
Yes.
It's
are.
the
All right.
final case, of course. It's big.
That's good
Yeah,
for
we're
me.
Yeah, we're going to split this one up into 2 episodes again. So over the course of the next 4 weeks, we will be playing this case. So feel free, if you're playing along, to plan accordingly. So next time we will play through the first half of the Grand Turnabout. So I know that that's a little vague on the exact stopping point for where we'll be. But if you keep an eye on the Let's Plays, we'll find a good midpoint for everybody there. So yeah, I also wanted to take a brief moment then as well and call out our iTunes reviews because we recently got another wonderful 5-star review from Dillican,
Woo!
and they wrote a wonderful, hilarious companion podcast. Love the hosts of this pod. They're having fun, and it's contagious. Great insights as well. Keep up the ace work, UAR.
Whoa.
Oh, we
That's
can-
us.
Thank you, Dillican, for that
Thanks.
5-star review. Really appreciate that. If you write a 5-star review on iTunes as well for us, we'll read it on the air, just like we did right there.
If you leave us a 4-star review, we'll cry.
I'll cry no matter what.
Reviews on iTunes are like really, they're weirdly critical. It sucks, right? And I always hate having to beg for reviews, but if you do it, it means a lot to us, and it helps us get visibility on the platform.
Yeah, they're like
and
more
means more people can listen to us.
important than leaving a comment on a YouTube video like they always ask you to do. But
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We also appreciate comments on YouTube. I try to take note and reply to all of them that pop up here.
anytime
and,
you put
so
work into something, getting any kind of like verbal or written response to it is always exciting.
Yeah, no, I appreciate every single fan response that we get, all the tweets, comments, all that stuff. It means a lot. So thank you for anybody who has done that. And thank you in advance if you decide to leave a review on iTunes. I do appreciate it. So you can follow the show online in various places. You can follow us on Twitter at Ace Attorney Pod. You can follow us on co-host under the username Ace Attorney. And you can also just go to our website, which is updatedautopsy.report. That has links to all of our various places to download the podcast. It has links to our shop, and it has links to the Let's Play as well, which is youtube.com/Yotseben as well. You can follow me on Twitter at Yotseben and also on co-host under the same name. Dessy, where can people find you?
At Yes, This Is Des on Twitter until something better comes along.
And Tiago.
You can find me at Tiago S. Dutra on Twitter.
All right. And Rose.
You actually can't find me this week. You should go out into the woods and scream, and I'll hear you.
Okay.
We'll be
I'll
back
acknowledge
next
you in
week.
spirit.
All right, understood.
Is there a good time for that?
Not
like a set
not too
time.
early in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
before
would-
12 is not great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. After lunchtime, I would say is probably a better bet.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much for listening. We hope that you will rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. And like I said, next episode, we will be playing the first part of the final case of Ace Attorney Investigations 2. I'll get there. The Grand Turnabout.
We'll all get
See you next time.
Bye.
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 Bye.